Hey YouTube, this is Joel. About 4 or 5 of you have asked me to do a Desert Song tutorial, so I figured might as well go ahead. It's my most viewed video on YouTube so far, so I'll break down the 3 riffs in the song and play them like regular speed, and then I'll slow them down, and I'll also break down 2 of the riffs to make it simpler for you guys to mess around with and add your own ideas to. So the first riff, which is the main riff in the song, I'll play at full speed now. So that's the main riff in the song that you'll hear throughout most of it, and at the intro. So I'll play that. I'll slow it down a little bit now. So that's in slow motion what I played. I added a lot of ghost notes to like the basic structure of it. I'll show you what it is stripped down without those ghost notes. It's not that complicated. It's really simple actually. So you're gonna play 4 on the floor on the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're gonna play 8 notes with your right hand on the floor tom. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and so those 2 together are gonna be this. I accented where the snare drum is, so I accented on the core notes, but I mean, whatever. You can do it however you want to or whatever. So now I'll show you where the accents are. There's accents on the high tom and the snare drum, and I'll show you where those are. So I'll play it just on the snare drum where those accents are. So that's basically where they are. So I'll play them. I'll play those accents mixed in with the kick and the right hand on the floor tom. So if you speed that up a little bit to the regular song speed, it doesn't sound a whole lot different from adding with the ghost notes. So you could play it this way. So that's the main riff you'll play in most of the song. The 2 other riffs are during the verses. There's one in verse 1 and another one on verse 2. So the verse 1, the riff you're gonna play. The bass drum is the trickiest part because you have to kind of mirror the vocal line. So it's playing this. Which is accentuating where the vocal line is. So you're going to do that on the kick drum. You're going to play 8 notes with your right hand. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you're going to play it on like the rim of a tom or a snare or whatever. And then with your left hand, you're going to play a cross stick, which is this. You're going to play that on the chord note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so those 2, which is your hands, is going to be this. Pretty simple, right? So once you get that done, you just have to add the bass drum, which is the tricky part. Kind of got to think of the vocal line. So you could kind of hear it. If you layer it over it, it kind of sounds similar. So I'll play it at full speed, the whole riff. So I'll slow it down now. So I recommend you get your hands down on autopilot, because that should be kind of second nature, because you're playing, this all the time. Anyway, so I mean, Once you get that down, kind of on autopilot, get that bass drum in there. That's the trickiest part, but it's not too bad. So that's the riff for verse 1. So verse 2 is it's talking about marching into a battle. So it's a snare drum riff, kind of like a marching snare. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna play, kind of it's the similar as the riff here, just on the snare drum. Remember, like the example I showed you earlier, where the accents are. It's basically that. So this is how I played it, though. I played it and I added kind of a 5-stroke roll, I think it is, into the middle somewhere, and I'll show you what I played at full speed. I also added kind of like an extra accent on earlier. That really isn't in the song, I don't think, but so I'll play it without those that little roll, which is a 5-stroke roll, 2 doubles. It's a double with the right, double with the left, and then accent with the right. So that's what that is. But I'll play it without those that little roll there. So I'll slow that down. So it's alternating, right, left, right, left. It's not that bad. So now I'll play with the little 5-stroke roll in there. I'll play that slowly. So if you know a double stroke roll, it's pretty simple to add in. So it's not too bad, but you can play it. I think the Hillsong guy plays it just straight on those accents, or something like that. But you can find his tutorial on YouTube somewhere. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but you can find it. So that's the 3 main riffs of the song. That should give you a skeleton of how to play it. I added like ghost notes and fills and cymbal accents, tom accents. That's pretty much what I did, improvised, so kind of on a whim, I guess. But one other part. There's a part where it builds up, like kind of at the bridge, and all I'm doing is playing the same riff, but just on the toms instead. I don't really remember what I did. It was kind of improvised, so it's the same riff, except just move it on the toms instead. But you can do whatever you want with it. I'm not sure really exactly what the Hillsong guy plays. I don't really remember. I kind of do it my own way now. I don't really pay attention to what he's doing. So good luck with this song. Let me know if you have any questions. Give me feedback on what you think should be played or how you think you're going to play it. Or post a video response if you have a cover or if you have your own translation of it. I kind of want to see it. So good luck with that, and I'll see you later.